Why is it so scary to be truly free? Why do so many people deep down fear real freedom? Why is it that when we are given the option to be free, we choose the illusion of freedom instead? We choose to stay on the same path that we're on. Because as long as we're following this path that we're on, we can maintain this illusion of freedom, knowing that what we're doing may not even be good for us. I've seen and I've noticed that there are so many people that have created this false illusion of freedom in their mind by doing things that keep them small, by doing things that limit them, by doing things that damage their well-being. And I used to do the same too. And I'm noticing that because I believe that I have gained so much internal freedom throughout my life, this past few years, making huge decisions, not just decisions relating to the physical world, but internal decisions on how I want to live, who I want to be, how I want to see myself. Why is it so scary in those moments when I have to decide, am I going to be truly free, or am I going to convince myself that I'm free doing things that I know are keeping me small because it feels safer that way? It feels so much safer to think you're free, to convince yourself that you're free, that what you're doing is out of freedom, choosing certain things, knowing deep down that you are denying your true freedom. And I'm going to give some examples. I would limit myself. I decided consciously, obviously, unconsciously, and in my soul, I was thinking completely differently or feeling differently. But I decided, okay, I actually love my body the way it is. I love how I look. And this has nothing to do with self-love, by the way. I have self-love regardless. I built that regardless. But in my mind, I created this satisfaction, this false satisfaction for the way I look. I thought, oh, I actually like looking soft. I don't like how muscles look. I don't like feeling strong. And what that did was that made me feel a false sense of freedom, because instead of choosing to truly be free by getting the body that I truly want to deep down, by following the disciplined habits, I got to be free by saying, oh, okay, I'm satisfied with where I am. Now I can eat whatever I want. I don't have to worry about these things. I don't have to force myself into doing things. I don't have to discipline myself or make myself do things that I don't want to do, that's so free. That's the definition of freedom, right? But the thing is, I was shrinking myself and depriving myself of the opportunity to become better. Because deep down in my soul, I want to have abs. That's the truth. I want to have abs. And I tried to convince myself that I didn't, because it felt safer that way. It felt safer to think I was free the way I was than to choose true freedom, because I knew what it took, what I had to do, what it means to have true freedom. Because to have true freedom, you're choosing something greater than yourself, greater than your current capacity. You're choosing something that you technically aren't capable of yet, because you haven't started. You're becoming capable. You're extending beyond your comfort zone. And that's terrifying. That's terrifying. The same thing happened when I decided to go to Thailand. When I was in Japan, so I went from the US to Japan. I have never gone from one country to another outside of the US with no way back, with no plan. So what I did was I went to Japan. I stayed there for a month. And I thought, no. I don't want to go to Thailand. I don't even want to go to Thailand. I want to go home. I want to go home, back to where I'm comfortable. Going to Thailand would be a bad decision. I'm not going to Thailand. I'm not going to do that. So I convinced myself, and I gave myself a false illusion of freedom by thinking that, oh, okay, I'm deciding to go back home. I'm free. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to go back home. But I was limiting myself because I ended up deciding to go to Thailand. And for some reason, it was absolutely terrifying for me because I had to go to China first and then I went to Thailand. And for my personal nervous system, sure, to someone else, this may have been a very easy decision. But for me personally, with my current nervous system in that state, my current headspace, the way I was thinking, the way I was feeling, my level of anxiety, my level of overthinking, in my current state, that was genuinely the most terrifying thing I could have possibly done in my entire life in that moment, because I was completely taking away any sense of stability, any sense of safety in my life. Because think about it, to go from Japan to Thailand, I am doing something that technically, in that moment, I felt like it was irreversible because I felt like I didn't have enough energy to even pull myself together to go back to the US if I ended up not liking Thailand and wanting to go home. So that was a terrifying moment for me because to go from Thailand to the US, you have to have layovers because there's no direct flights because it's literally on the other side of the world. So I was terrified. I was overthinking. I was anxious. My body just was fueled with fear. I was shaken, literally shaken by that decision. I had to call my mom. I was bawling my eyes out because I genuinely didn't know what to do with myself. Because this decision, it wasn't just, oh, do I go to Thailand? Do I not go to Thailand? It was so much more than that. It was, do I choose to be truly free? Or do I stay small and give myself this illusion of freedom, knowing that I could be more? Knowing that this isn't true freedom because I haven't done what I know is possible. Because as long as it's possible to go to Thailand the way that I did, the option that I had to do that, as long as that was possible, doing any less than that would have been small, staying small, and that wouldn't have been freedom because I was choosing to go back to the old. I was choosing to go back to the old mindset where I felt comfortable and didn't want to take any risks. So I went to Thailand, and would you believe it? My overthinking went away after the first few days. My anxiety went away because I did something that proved to myself, you're truly free. You are free. Look what you just did. Sorry, my eyebrow is going crazy. I instilled in my mind, I am truly free. I do have true freedom because I had a choice to go back to the old and stay comfortable, or to do something that I have never done before, to expand my energetic capacity and my nervous system capacity, and to teach myself on a cellular level that I am capable of more and that the old is not how it has to be. I have instilled that deep sense of freedom within me. It's ingrained into my body, my soul, my mind. Because I decided to go to Thailand. And then I came back home. I came back home after a month because I thought, okay, I came to the conclusion that I was running away from myself and choosing to, after a certain period of time, it was no longer about growth because I had achieved all the growth that I was meant for during that period. So then after that, I was just delaying the inevitable. I was running away from routine and discipline. And then what did I do? At that moment, I thought, no, I have to stay in Thailand. I shouldn't go back home. That's the wrong thing for me. I'm going back to the old. I'm going back. No. We can't do this. And what did I do in that moment? I instilled a deep sense of true freedom within me. Why? Because I decided I'm going back home, and I'm proving to myself that going back home does not mean going back to the past. Going back home means that I'm going back to the same location geographically, but I'm not going back to the same energy. I'm not going back to the same environment in regards to energy. I'm not going back to the same version of me. I'm going forward. I'm going forward. And I'm choosing to make decisions when I get there that are going to move me even further in life. So whenever you have a decision to do this or to do that, you are going to notice, now after watching this video, of course, you're going to notice one of the decisions is a true sense of freedom, one is a false sense of freedom. Are you going to go out and party with your friends, with your lame friends, and do bad things that you know are hurting you? Or are you going to choose to, let's say in this scenario, are you going to choose to drop those fake friends, to distance yourself, to stop going to the parties, to stop drinking, smoking, whatever you're doing, and to choose a life of discipline where you are actively choosing better for yourself and choosing habits that are benefiting your well-being? Because that's a true sense of freedom. Your false sense of freedom is thinking, oh, I can do whatever I want. I can go party. I can go be friends with whoever I want. But the truth is, you're going to notice the decision that between the two decisions, the one that is a false sense of freedom is the one that makes you feel safe and comfortable. The one that is a true sense of freedom scares you. You feel it in your chest. You feel this light, this shaking, really. It's like you feel it in your chest. But in your gut, you notice that in your gut, nothing is being denied. But in your chest, you feel like something is being denied. You feel like you're being denied of this decision. No, this is not the right decision. Because in my chest, I feel anxiety. I feel like I can't breathe. I feel lightheaded even. Oh, this feels like the wrong decision. My intuition must be telling me this is the wrong decision. No, that's not true. Your intuition is in your gut. Your intuition is lower. When you feel it in your chest, that's anxiety. And if that's anxiety and your gut, you don't have any issues with your gut, your intuition telling you that what you're doing is wrong, then you're going on your that's the decision that will get you on the true path of freedom. If you're doing things that make you feel like you're free, but are still keeping you small, that's not true freedom. You're trapped. You are trapped in your own mind, and that is a very scary place to be trapped in your own mind. I have seen what it does to people. It creates, once you get older, after a certain age, I've seen it in older people. Once you get older, that is ingrained into your mind, and every decision you make, everything that you do has to serve a purpose in fueling this false sense of freedom, which is terrifying to watch from an outsider perspective, knowing that that could be possible for me, knowing that that could be possible for you. Because I now have seen the extreme, the deep end of that path, where it leads to. I have seen what it does to people's minds, how it destroys reality for them, because subtly and unknowingly, it completely rewires how they connect with people, how they function as a human being in life daily. Their habits, everything serves a purpose in fueling this false sense of freedom, this illusion, this false reality that they've created in their mind to keep them comfortable and to keep them continuing to operate in their current state. Rather than choosing the true path of freedom, to release the old, to completely shed the old version of you, and to choose differently. That's terrifying, but it's worth it. Because as long as you continue making choices that keep you on that true path of freedom, you are going to be in control of your mind. You are going to be in control of how you operate. You get to see life from a neutral perspective of how it really is, not a projection of your false reality that you've created in your mind. You're seeing reality for how it is, for how your soul sees it, rather than how your mind projects it to be based on past wounds, past life, not past lives, but past ways of life. Because you get a new life whenever you become a new person in this life. This is the only life you have. Forget about the spiritual people talking about, oh yeah, let's talk about your past life in ancient Egypt. No. You have multiple lifetimes in this one lifetime. You just have to rewire yourself completely and change how you think, what you do, all of it. You're completely restructuring your reality, and that causes you to have a new life. Even moving, the simple act of moving to a new environment and then completely changing, that gave me a new life. I started a new life because I also did the healing and inner work to release the old life. And the truth is, it's scary to completely release everything that defined you, everything that defined life for you in the past. You are completely releasing who you know yourself to be, who you believe yourself to be, how you believe the world to be, to operate, how you believe connections to be, what it means for all these things. It's scary to release that, because then what's going to replace it? You don't know what's coming next. You don't know what's going to happen to you by dismantling these beliefs, by dismantling this mindset, this energy, by releasing these wounds. What does it mean to live differently? You wouldn't know because you haven't done it yet. So that fear isn't going to go away until you make the decision and to continue moving forward. That's the only way you're going to find out what it's like on the other side, is to go step both feet on the other side. You can't just put one foot in that door and one foot in the other. You can't. That's not how it works. You're depriving yourself. You're either all in there or you're all in here. Because to make the decision that will get you from here to here to there, that automatically has just by cause and effect rewires you. You know what you're sacrificing, you know what you're putting on the line by making that decision to choose differently. And in that moment, that's when you break free from the false illusion and you gain true freedom, because you've just proven to yourself, I can choose better, I can choose differently, not knowing what's on the other side, but knowing that it is the right decision to make, and that my nervous system will expand and my energetic capacity will expand to meet what is required of it to live in that timeline, to live in that life of newness, of true freedom. And sometimes, let me be clear with this, true freedom does require some discipline sometimes. It depends on what that means for you. But let's say if you're on a fitness journey and you're making a decision, you may think that discipline is trapping you, but it's not. Discipline is true freedom in that regard. Obviously, when I was talking about Thailand and other stuff, discipline isn't necessarily applicable to that experience, but if we're talking about stuff that includes discipline and requires discipline, then whatever decision you're making that requires discipline, that's where there's true freedom. Because if you spend long enough in that discipline, it will just become who you are after a certain amount of time. So then it's not really discipline, it's just who you are. And then you're free. You're truly free by taking care of yourself, by doing what is best for you. So I'm sharing this to help you understand that the decision, you are actively making a decision. Whenever you do something, you are choosing not to do something else. So keep that in mind, because whenever you make a decision, you're either choosing false sense of freedom or true sense of freedom. When you're in the grocery store and you're deciding, let's say for example, you are on a fitness journey and you're deciding to get that junk food when you know it's not part of your plan. When you're deciding to do that, you need to think about how you're actively choosing not to get the food that is fueling your plan. You are choosing not to go down that path of true freedom. Instead of choosing, oh, I'm choosing this and this is not good, think about it this way. I'm not choosing what's best for me. Because that can be a wake-up call. So let me wrap this video up. But the point is, true freedom causes natural discomfort because you are demanding more of your nervous system. You are demanding more of your energetic capacity. You are demanding more of yourself than the fear that it's staying in, than the comfort that you're staying in, than the safety that you're feeling, than the definitions that your nervous system has placed on your life of, oh, this is what it means to feel safe. This is what it means to feel comfortable. This is what it means to be in danger. And it can feel like danger to your nervous system to make decisions that are better for you. But when you feel, oh, I could be doing this, but I'm not, you have to make the decision to fill the gap and to do what you know you're meant to do, what you know you're capable of. If you just make the decision. So do it. Make the decision today. Make the decision now. Where do you feel like you are depriving yourself of the opportunity to become better? Because it's literally your new life, your new way of living, your shedding of the fear is only on the other side of the door. You just have to step in. You just have to step in the room. So are you going to do it? Because I think you should. I'm speaking from experience. If I could survive shaking up my nervous system to its core, shaking up my entire reality and way of living by making certain decisions, and I came out of it 10 times better, a completely different person, capable of so much more than I even thought I was capable of, then that means you can do the same thing. You're capable. Where are you deciding to stay small? What do you want to do? What do you know is meant for you? What do you know is the right decision that you're choosing to convince yourself that you're okay where you're at just to be comfortable? Today, I want you to think about that. Ponder on it. Reflect on it. Journal about it. And make a decision today. Take an actionable step today to decide that your path of true freedom. Because it's not even worth living life if you're going to stay in the same place, in the same energetic space, in the same nervous system capacity. Are you serious? You are capable of so much more than to stay where you're at because you're scared. Fear is literally, it dismantles as soon as you make the decision. So do it, okay? Okay, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment if you have any questions or if you feel called to do so. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day.